Hello, second grade friends. Welcome to Number Corner. For Number Corner today, we are going to be working on computational fluency. Someone with computational fluency can work very quickly and easily with numbers. Today, we're going to look at some different facts. What you'll need first is your whiteboard, marker, and eraser. If you don't have your whiteboard, marker, and eraser, remember, a piece of paper and a pencil will work just fine. You can pause the video now to get what you need. Now, I've written on our slide, take away 10's and back to 10's. These are the names for two sets of subtraction facts that are closely related to the add 10 facts. I'm going to show you some double 10 frames to have a look at these take away 10 facts first a little more closely. I want you to have a look at this double 10's frame and think about how many dots you see. Now, before we say how many dots we see, did you count them by ones or did you count them a different way? How did you count them? Now, you may have counted 10 dots in the top row, all of these black dots. And then you may have noticed that there's half as many on the bottom. There's only 5 to show us 15 dots. You may also have noticed that there's a black line in the middle to kind of cut our dots in half. You may have seen 5 on the top row here and 5 on the bottom row here, and then another 5 on the other side to get 15 dots. You may also have just known that there will be 20 squares in this 10's frame and that there are 5 dots missing. You could have seen this in many different ways. Let's have a look at another one. How many dots do you see? Show a connection if you see 19 dots. How did you know there are 19 dots? Well, you may have been thinking, I know that there are 20 squares all together, and there's 1 missing. You may have noticed that we have 10 black dots on top again. And on the bottom, we only have 9 because that 1 is missing. And 10 plus 9 must be 19. Let's have a look at another one. How many dots do you see? If you see 13 dots, show a connection. How did you know there were 13 dots? You may have noticed that we have 10 dots on the top again, and then some more blue dots on the bottom. If you're looking at this black line, you might be thinking, well, there's 2 missing. There should be 5, but with 2 missing, there's 3. So there must be 13 dots. You may have noticed that there are 7 dots missing on the bottom. If you knew there were 20 to begin with, and you take 7 away, you have 13. Let's have a look at another one. How many dots do you see? Show a connection if you see 14 dots. Now, with this one, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to cover up some of the dots. And this is where I would like you to use your whiteboard and marker to write an equation to represent the situation. Your equation should look something like this. Something minus something else equals something. How many dots do we have all together? 14. Your equation should start with the number 14. I've taken my dots away. 14 minus how many equals how many? Write your equation. Did you write the equation 14 minus 10 equals 4? Thumbs up if you did. This blue rectangle has covered up our top 10 dots. Let's look at one more. Erase your boards. Now I'm going to cover some of the dots, and then I would like you to write an equation to represent the situation. Think about how many dots there are. I've covered some up. Can you write an equation? It should say something, how many dots we started with, minus how many dots I covered, equals how many dots we have left. Did you write 12 minus 10 equals 2? Thumbs up if you did. Good work, we've covered up 10 dots. Let's have a look at 2 more. How many do we have all together? I'm going to cover some of the dots, and then you'll write your equation. Let's have a look at our equations. Thumbs up if you wrote 16 minus 10 equals 6. We had 16 altogether. We've taken 10 away. We have 6 left. Last one. I'm going to cover some of the dots, and then you'll write your equation. Think about how many we start with, how many we take away, how many we have left. Let's look at our equations. Did you write 18 minus 10 equals 8? Thumbs up if you did. We had 18, we took away 10, we are left with 8 dots. You can erase your boards, and we're going to look at all of the equations we just wrote. All of our equations are examples of take-away 10's. How are they similar, or how do they relate to add 10's facts? Take a moment to think about that. Now you may have been thinking that when we have an add 10 fact, we're adding 10 to whatever we're adding. We could be adding 4 plus 10 to get 14. We could be adding 2 plus 10 to get 12. You may be noticing that they're kind of the opposite of an add 10 fact. Instead of adding 10, we're just taking that 10 away. Now I'm going to ask you to solve 4 more equations on your own. On your whiteboard, I would like you to write the answer to each of these equations. What is 14 minus 4? What is 19 minus 9? What is 12 minus 2? What is 17 minus 7? Let's have a look at the answers. Did you write 10 for the answer to every equation? Thumbs up if you did. What are you noticing about the answers to these equations compared to the answer to these equations? Now you may have noticed that to the answer to all of the equations we just wrote, it's always 10. We're going back to 10. And in our first set of equations, we were taking away 10. The facts that you just wrote the answer to, those are called our back to 10 facts. Whatever number we take away from our teens brings us back to 10. If we take 4 away from 14, we're back at 10. If we take 9 away from 19, we're back at 10. Thank you for exploring Take Away 10 and Back to 10 facts with me. Your job now is to go into Seesaw and either type with the text tool or record with the microphone one thing you noticed about our Take Away 10 facts or our Back to 10 facts to show your teacher the hard work you did today. I will see you next time for Number Corner.